All right, welcome to live piano practice number 8. We're breaking down more of Brandi Carlile. I always struggle on that name. Forever Young. This is obviously, I've been doing 8 of these. I've only done this song, work on this for a student. If you guys need the sheet music, want to support us making more of these videos, become a member at musicbythemeasurespro.com. I'm trying to point at the sign. We appreciate it. Anybody who watches, hangs out, or gives comments and feedback, our song you guys want to learn. All of that we appreciate. So I haven't done piano in a couple days, so let's just kind of review one hand at a time, and we'll start with the verse. So we got this. Now, by the way, if you guys need more time with these, go to number 1, and you can watch me struggle and break stuff down. Tonight will be kind of more of a playthrough. So I'm actually struggling because I don't have my left hand going, but that's probably a good thing. Let's do a little bit of that. Just 50 BPM, right hand. Full speed's like full speed is 64. 2. So as I'm, continue to play and just kind of see what I need to work on, what I don't need to work on. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I like to leave early, right? Especially coming from that F. So I got and 2 and 1 and 2. So little things like that to pick up on. All right, let's do the same thing, but let's do left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and definitely played something wrong on that. 1 and 2 and 3. There we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. All right, back with metronome. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and. Let's kind of source that out with right hand, left hand, and then do it again with metronome. Source it out's my new term that I'm using to suss it out. I might be like sustaining some. I guess I'm doing that, and I don't always do that. I guess sometimes I've been doing, which I will have to communicate with John. I'm guessing it's actually this though. Probably the same thing on that one. So little thing that I need to fix, right, is just when I play this measure. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm not gonna be too picky about that thumb. Eventually I can maybe fix it if I want to. All right, we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so I'll think about it. All right. Now I just have to do that with metronome. 2 and 3 and 4 and Forever Young by Brandi Carlile. Have you heard that song? It's a good cover of an 80s song. And 4 and 1, 2. You can get the sheet music at our website if you need it. 2. 1 and 2 and so now I'm digging that. You should actually check out the original version of the song because it's pretty sweet. And then the cover version that Brandi did is like this low-key piano version. Obviously, kind of get the idea of that, but it's pretty cool. Both of them are. All right, let's speed this up. Let's do even numbers for fun. And then we will kind of move on to the intro, which is going to take a little bit more brain power. So I'm like, since I'm reviewing it and it's been a couple days, it's good for just sit on this, hit this, figure out some extra stuff that I'm missing and add into it, and then move on to the new section, which will cause me some brain fatigue. 2, 3, 4. So one thing speaking of trying to fix some stuff right now, one thing is whenever I go from this F, 1 and 2 and 1, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and thanks for all the hearts, whoever that is. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, right? 1 and... Now, if you watch my bass video from earlier today, you know that I have the same issue kind of on any song that I approach. I like to leave early, give myself about an extra hour and a half to get to where I need to go. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and... So just like little things to pick up on. Now, as I play this, I'm going to try to erase that little pause from the F to the D minor. See if you notice if I do or don't. It's coming along. Now I'm rushing into that D minor, right? I'm giving enough space between the 1 and 2 and... But as soon as I get to the D minor, I feel like I'm rushing. And I'm probably being overly picky of my own playing right now. Let's do a couple more. Now I'm just getting like brain fog. So let's do this without metronome a couple times. That's what I'm doing wrong. Just put an extra beat in. 1 from the F, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 couple more times with metronome, and then Like I said, we'll do a brain drain of working on that intro that's just been plaguing me the last couple. Okay, let's look at this intro. I see a bunch of different times because usually if I'm struggling, I just put a little time marker on there so in the future I know to come back at a slower tempo. I'm basically going to pretend I've never learned this before, and as you see me play it, you might agree with me. It's just been a week. So we got this 1 and 3. Yeah. This is just going to be a nice little chill, like 15, 20 to 3 hours of just like getting these parts down and putting this together slow. The problem is when I do these during the day, I feel rushed. Like I got something after this. When I do these at night, I don't feel like I always have enough energy. So it's like combating those two different things. So 30 is going to be pretty slow. Let's just see. And 2 and 3 and 4 and... So let's do this. That might be too slow for me. Let's keep the even numbers going. What I'm going to try to do, because I feel like that's I know this part better than I let on, maybe, even to myself. So what I'm going to try to do is do a couple left hand and then see if I can jog my memory on the right hand a minute. Actually, let's just do that. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and... And again, since we're not covering new territory tonight for me, if you guys need to, pull up 7, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and you'll get a better breakdown and more time spent on this stuff. Now it's like, let's move through it. Let's get these ideas. And 2, and 3, and a 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and a... Well, I don't often play Eddie Van Halen on the piano, Mark, but I'm not a good enough guitarist to do all that stuff. That is the goal and ambition down the road. Good stuff, respect it. Just never got into that. I'm more of like a Tom Petty, Kings of Leon kind of guy. But shoot, if you want to learn it, I'll work on learning it too, and we can learn it together. And 2 and... actually how these fit together. So it's 1, 1, and 2, and... Let's slow that down though, because 50 or 36 BPM. 2 and 3 and a 4 and. Dude, that's awesome that you started 7 months ago and you're playing Van Halen stuff. Hey, look us up on Twitter or Instagram. Send me some stuff. I'd love to see what you're working on. And if I can figure out Panama on guitar, obviously, I'll work on it and help you out. The guy who writes all of our sheet music, John, you know, if you watch any of these videos, I've mentioned him quite a bit. John, Nick, and I kind of do all the sheet music around here. John writes it. Nick and I do the videos and like figuring stuff out together. But yeah. Just follow us on Instagram, send us some videos and stuff, and we'll check it out. And 4 and. What is our Insta? That's a really great question. I think it's at Music by the Measures. Probably MBTM Pro. Our Music by the Measures. It's definitely Music by the Measures. I'm thinking it's that. Sorry, bro. If not, just in this actual video, not in this chat. Put a comment and I'll find you. And 2 and. YouTube really should have like a direct messaging thing. It'd be really beneficial, I feel like. Clean that rhythm up though. 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Sweet, man. I will look you up. And send me some videos. Just want to see what you're working on and see if I can help you out at all. That is our goal and ambition of doing these lives. Build a community, helping musicians kind of grow and learn. And if we can get you guys sheet music, if you guys can like, follow, comment, share, we can give you guys good resources. All right, so this other part. 1 and 2 and 1 and. Now, do I remember anything else? I don't know. Oh yeah, so it goes. So this took me a little bit to get down the other day. So we got this 1, 1. Again, it's a little bit of that flam. 1 and. Oh yeah, so we go 1 and. All right, let's do one hand at a time. So A minor, and let's just do this with the metronome. It's gonna help me kind of solidify everything. So we got 1 and 2 and 1 and. So kind of like where my wheels are right now, I feel like I'm going to kind of do both hands with this intro. and not very well, and then tomorrow jump in right away and just really get this freaking thing done. And 2 and and 2 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so as per usual, I'm kind of struggling on, unless I have that guide of my right hand going, and there it goes. Now I have that idea, and I do this a lot with my hands. I'm like, doo-doo-doo. I have that idea, but I need to slow it down because I'm not actually thinking about it. I'm not counting it. I'm just kind of like approximating it, which means tomorrow I'll have to do like more work to get it back. 1 and see how that fits with 50 or 36. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so you hear that slight adjustment instead of, which I don't think how she actually played it. I think it's probably right. A little bit more graceful of a flam or a ghost note. Back with metronome. 2 and 1 and 2 and now I have to go to an F. So let's just do one hand at a time because I'm holding on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Left hand is going 1 and 2. No, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so really slow those two hands together. 1 and 2 and 4 and right. And be okay. I'm telling myself as well as I'm telling you, if you're learning this, some sloppiness is going to ensue, right? Where we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and trying to get that flam. If it happens, it happens. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 2 and so that right there is too fast for me, right? You can tell if I'm going to play that sloppy, it's too fast for me. 1 and 2 and just need more time to figure that all out. 1 and 2 and 3. Trying to get it memorized if you didn't notice. To start with, for some not for some reason. So I'm kind of like getting back into piano, Mark, and just trying to like re-up my skill set. And I have some students, that can play challenging stuff like this. I consider this a little bit challenging. Clearly, it's challenging for me. I put myself as like a mid-grade piano player. And so, like, I need to work on this for her anyway, so it makes sense to do these live videos with the song that I need to work on myself, and that's kind of the blah, blah, blah ambition of these all. So I should have started with Turkish March and For Elise. Doing this song is a little bit mean to myself, but also, though, like, look where I came from doing 8 of these now and feeling kind of mildly confident on some of these parts. Still a lot of work to do. And she's going to be done with it before I probably will be done with it, and that's fine. Then we'll move on, and I'll coach her on the next song. And sometimes, that's the hard lesson for music teachers. Like, I can't be perfect at everything. It's really impossible for me to be perfect at little things. So it's kind of pick your battles and do your best. So, and what I've noticed, though, from doing, like, more and more of these, like, I get levels of better just by doing a live and kind of sucking and being okay with that. And then going and doing bass the next day, it kind of screws with your head in the right way. Tomorrow will be a drums and piano day, and it's good stuff. It's challenging and makes you grow. So, all right. 1 and that metronome back in. Thanks, Mark. We got to chat sometime. I'll look at your videos. I'll respond to you. We'll check it out. Maybe you'll be teaching me Panama next week. We can do like a video chat. Do it all live too. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cannot do that yet. All right. My brain doesn't know that this is next. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and. You would think that would be the easiest like situation possible. I just played this chord. I don't need to keep talking. I'm excited to see Panama from you, bro. And I'm smiling because like I've probably spent like 7 minutes on this measure, and that's how it goes some days. I'm going to move on. Otherwise, I'm going to start driving myself crazy. But before I move on, let's go from the C, the E minor, the A minor, the F. So we got. right now I really want to just try that though. So slow it down a little bit, make it a little bit easier for myself. I don't know if I'll be able to play these 4/2 measures. But let's give a measure of recovery every single time. And 2 and 3 and 4. Let's just do one hand at a time. Let's just try to get this broken down. 3 and I lied. Let's do both hands together. Otherwise, it's going to take me too long. 3 and 4 and... this measure, something like that though. So I don't need all of those beats. I do want a recovery measure. It's kind of nice if you do this in like your own little loop practice. Giving yourself like a pause in between stuff is really nice. 2 and 3 and that's just taking a lot of my, like I said, that takes a lot of my brain power. And the more you do these, the less brain power it'll take. Now, I can play it without metronome, but that really doesn't mean shit sometimes because I'm flexing that rhythm a little bit to go to the parts that I know and I don't know, right? Like that. The A minor measure, I put a little bit of a pause going to that F. So let's do it a couple more without metronome, and then getting snapped back to that line is just really good practice. 3, 4. Shit. So I'm kind of debating too how much I can get memorized. Don't have the best memory at times, but all right, let's go back to metronome. 2 and 3 and 4 and actually play this in time, even though it's slow. So that was not a great time to start. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and. So actually, let's speed it. Let's go to 36. Part of my problem is not, well, I'm the biggest part of my problem. But the other big part of my problem is I feel like it's so slow that I'm struggling with it. Also, I needed it so slow that I could think about my timing and changes. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Shit. Do one more where we really get tight on that timing. Let me just make sure this is still running. Yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. Just give me a warning. Okay. One more tight on the timing, then I want to work on those last 3 measures. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Let's break down that D minor measure. Yeah, I'm thinking. We got this 1 E and 2 E and right. Nah, I look like I'm pretty decent at that right this moment, right? But Jesus, go to number 6, and I sucked at that. Now I'm also going to be terrible as soon as I try to put my left hand in. Because all the beats that my right hand isn't playing, my left hand is picking up on that 2E and 2E and so we got 1. All right, let's try to play that together. So we got 1 E and 2 E and is what I'm talking about. And then kind of makes sense to play the 3, which is our A. All right, we won't worry about that yet. Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. 1 E and 2. 1 E and 2 E and . All I want to work on for a second. So that's right here. This is 36. Let's try 32. Sometimes just like 4 BPM can be enough to be like, all right, and I can think about what I'm doing versus like shit. And 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 2 E and 2 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and what do you mean by levitate? Mark just commented, and I totally agree with him. And so many people struggle, including me. You can see me, right? Yeah. Sometimes skipping the left is totally okay. I like even teaching this student that I'm working with. I'm like, dude, she's a girl, but I say, dude, if you want to, you could. You don't have to do the right hand, or you don't have to do the left hand. You don't have to do them both together. Choose your battles. But at the same time, it's like. A goal of mine in life would be to be able to play these songs, look at them really rather quickly, and get the idea of them. And the only way that you do that is by starting with what we're doing right now. When we're on live piano practice number 800, shit, man, things will be easy. But yeah, and also like the way that we're breaking it down right now, I think is very beneficial. And I was not taught this way when I was 8 years old. Of like seeing the relationship, and some of that relationship is very akin to drums. Like these notes are playing off each other; they're answering each other's questions. So we got this 1 E and E and that's not how I played it. Right, like that. The held beats are getting picked up. 1 E and 2. I'm all mixed up. 1 E and 2 E and kind of answers itself. It doesn't mean it's easy, and I still clearly still struggle. But it's fun, and there's enjoyment in there, and I know there's gains to be had. And the cool thing is, and Mark, especially for you because you play other instruments as well. Like when I jump on a guitar, it changes. Like spending an hour doing this piano practice changes how I approach drums or guitar or any other instrument. And I think that's the cool stuff. Is like they always say piano is a fundamental instrument that everyone should learn, and there's a lot of wisdom to that. And 2 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 2 E and all right, now I know I can't play that with metronome yet. That's kind of like just holding on to the reins. 1 E and 2 E and all right, let's hear a 50. Or I keep on thinking it's 50, but it's 32. 1 and 2 E and E and 2 E and 1 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 2 E and just write 1 E and 2 E and E and 2 E and and then it's just too fast for me. I don't know where I'm at brain power wise right now. So it's oftentimes in lessons where I can read a kid and go, oh man, we just spent 15 minutes on something and now they're just drained. And it's like, now they have to have some fun or do something a little bit different if I want to get anything else accomplished in these next 15 minutes. And it's tougher with myself too, because I'm kind of like, sometimes I just have to force myself to get on these lives and force myself to get going. And as soon as I do, I'm having fun. It's just not fun getting there sometimes. And then, like right now, it's like, am I just having diminishing returns? Probably at this point. So thinking of that, let's move on. Let's just try to power through this next little bit. And then tomorrow morning, like I said, this needs to be a first thing for me. So we got this A minor. Yeah, it's going up to that higher A. All right, so tempo-wise is going to be like, and 2, and... So 32 is great when we were trying to do both hands together. Now it's like, whoa. Let's try 38. Same little section. And 2 and... Dude, I totally read your comment as I'm 16 and it takes a wife for me to get bored. And I'm like, that doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Why would he need a wife to get... it takes a while for you to get bored. Good on you, my guy. The other thing that I really like about like approaching the piano like this, it's almost like we're not learning the song. We're just learning these like really good rudiments of understanding piano at a higher level. So we got this. So it'd actually be 1 and 2 and... Oh, now I can't play. For sure, man. I get that. It's just however you want to approach the instrument is really what matters. My drive, I like learning every nuance of like, if I can't play something, I want to understand why I can't play it. And then I want to work on it for a couple hours. All right. And then that F, I'm going to kind of power through these. This G. Oh no, it's a G and D in my left hand. 1 and 2. All right. We're calling that good for today. Mark, great conversation. I look forward to your Instagram and send me some videos. For everyone else, thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention. Musicbythemeasurespro.com. We're looking to do more of these videos. If you guys are looking for a certain piano song or something you guys want to learn, let us know. Tonight was obviously live piano. In the future, it'll be live other stuff as well. All right. You guys have a good night.